we got a little friend with us. What's up, everybody, on this Sunday? It's me and Chris today. This is podcast episode 17. TJ took a day off today, so me and Chris decided we're going to continue on the podcast, weekly podcast. TJ will be back with us next week. So today, we actually thought of a different approach of COVID, how to embrace COVID. So we've been harping on COVID this whole time. It's this, it's that. What if we actually took COVID and made it a part of us? How would we live our days in a different manner, I guess? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And that's Reno. Hi, Reno. So that's a different approach that, should be in our everyday lives too, where... Good? Yeah. It should be in our everyday lives too, where you embrace your obstacles that'll make you stronger. Now, I'm not saying embrace the obstacles where everybody ends up being defeated like this vaccine passport. What I'm saying is maybe COVID will never leave us like we mentioned the last podcast, but how is it that we can make our society come together as one and understand that we need to embrace this virus and any other virus where we will grow from each of these viruses, because like it or not, Chris and myself are a type of virus parasite as well. Like we've mentioned plenty of times, our bodies are made of bacteria and viruses. So how can we embrace and love the atmosphere that COVID brings to us and not always keep it in a negative state, because this negative state is what's really killing everybody, and it's not good for all of us, right? On that note, before we do start, I do want to mention that yesterday was the manifestation in Montreal, in downtown Montreal, and Chris didn't know this, right? But I shed some light where there was over 100,000 people manifesting, and you wake up this morning to Journal de Montréal saying there's only 15,000. Guys, we're going to have a session next week when TJ gets back about this, but it's just, you can tell how the news just doesn't want to give you the right information. So anyways, enough with the negativity. We're going to go with the positivity. So Chris, how are we talking about this today?
So to embrace something new, the first thing you have to realize is that it's a part of reality. When things change, our human instinct is to go through the grieving stages, which is 5 of them. First one is shock. So when this happened, let's be honest, we were all in shock, right? When I was sent home and we said 2 weeks and that's it turned out to almost what? Almost a year.
No, we're more than that now.
And then
almost 2 years.
We finally got out and we were like, well, we can go outside again. That's shock. And during that, in the situation, we went through denial. Some of us are still in denial that this virus is not real, for example. I know for sure the virus is real. I've had a family member who were in hospitals. I know it's real. I'm not ever going to downplay the fact that this is a virus that's out there. If you ever want to talk about where it came from and how China the Communist Party of China, not Chinese people, the Communist Party, the politicians over there, we'll get into it next week. But the point is, at the end of the day, is embracing it. So denial, which we've obviously gone through it because we accept that it's a reality today. Number 2 is going to be anger. And we're going to get very angry, which is where the protests are, because we've been fed up of this for a very long time. Now, depression will come in where it's like, wow, this is actually something we're going through. This is real. Someone can catch it, lose their taste, lose their smell. It is a very sad reality, right? No one wants to catch it.
No.
Who wants to lose the taste of food? I love food. If you take away my cannolis, I will be upset.
But you need to take the cannolis away, Chris. Talking to a naturopath here.
Yeah, he's gonna get me healthier one day.
When you're ready. When you embrace it.
And so then the last part is acceptance.
Yeah.
Now, I think we all went through acceptance when it finally was finishing, but now this passport has come out. And this is where a decision will come, do we accept this reality? And next week, we will tell you how our opinion is no, we don't want to accept that reality for other reasons. But now to embrace just COVID as what it is, a virus. Now, what's a virus?
A living organism in your body, pretty much dead or alive, like we were actually discussing before. It could be dead or alive. Your body has all organisms, whether it's bacteria, parasites, in them, in your body. It's just a matter of activating it. Now, you could be catching it either airborne. Most people don't. It's been said that you might not be able to catch it virally, so through mouth transmission, it's more airborne. And by the way, your skin actually absorbs any toxicity within the first 20 to 26 seconds that the toxicity hits your skin. So this is why my argument is, why are we only covering our mouths? If that's the case, let's just walk around in a hazmat suit and this would all been done and said for. So viruses, yes, they're living organisms like our bodies, like us, they each have their own mind as well. Not saying they're smart or stupid, but
they function.
They function, exactly. Yeah, so that's I mean, viruses have been around for
millennia.
Yeah, you can't even say
we came out of bacteria, didn't we?
Yeah. We are 90% bacteria. Our guts are 90% bacteria. We are actually, so there's more bacteria than your genes. So you have about 23,000 genes in your body, something like that, and you have about 90,000 different strands of bacteria in your body. Now it's the way your lifestyle is, your environment is, your mindset is, how you will trigger those bacteria to be either good or bad. So embracing the COVID or the virus, yeah, right? Embracing it like any other virus. When you get a cold, how are you gonna surpass colds, viruses, COVID, whatever it is? How are you going to take it and say, you know what, I'm going to build my own immunity, I'm going to build myself and become a better person? Now, COVID, as we see, might be a whole different virus because, hey, it's been faster, it gets transmuted faster, it gets mutated faster, its names get changed every day faster.
Delta!
So, where was I going with this now?
You were going to the fact that if we look at COVID the same way as a common cold,
yeah, so
we will embrace it.
We could embrace it, but in the sense that what I wanted to get to is that COVID might change on the level of, and this might not be biochemically, but more environmentally, and the in stillness of people putting thoughts in our brains.
Yep.
But this virus is different because it affects your mood. It affects everything else. Now, I'm not saying cancer can't affect your mood, right? It's negative. It's a negative thought, but at the same time, a cancer is a bacteria as well. Like anything else, it is a bacteria. So you have to go through the stages of bacterial infections, bacterial progress, bacterial mutation, bacterial treatments as well. So not all bacteria can be treated the same way, right? The same thing with COVID, as we've seen. So that's where we want to try and bring out that be positive and embrace the COVID. That, again, we're not going to be out of this for years to come, right? It's going to be a part of our society, and coronavirus is actually is the main component of any flu. If you look it up, it's the structure of a flu virus. So it's been with us for many years.
It's just that now it's evolved to a level where the whole world is terrified of it.
Yeah.
But let's be fully honest. The mortality rates. I get the dangers that come with it. Like I said before, I have had family members in the hospital because it affected them to the point that they couldn't breathe very well. But they came out of it, and I'm very happy about that. But if we embrace it that way, well, we'll just see it as another obstacle of being a human being. For example, crossing the street. We learn, should look both ways. Now you're going to walk into a situation where you see people coughing. Put on a mask. That's it. But to enforce such regulatory rules all the time, that will bring upon negativity.
Yep.
Who here even wants to wear a mask all the time? Come on, at one point it gets annoying. And it gets annoying because it's not natural. And as much as we want to push what's natural, you can't, because nature is natural. Nature, natural, it's together. Viruses are natural. That's the thing here. Now, if you want to get into how COVID might have been made in a lab, yeah, maybe it wasn't natural. But the reality of that conversation is that they just pushed evolution faster. That's it. They made sure that it kept evolving faster and faster to, in the name of science, be prepared that if it does ever happen, we're safe. We know how to handle it. But, it's now here. We're dealing with it the way we are, and so on and so forth. So again, if we embrace it positively, saying, hey, yeah, I caught it, I'm good.
Yeah.
You're
So
good.
that's where you brought up the point where the whole world is fearing this right now. What if the world wasn't fearing it? What if it was just a virus and we embraced it like it was a cold or anything else, right? Like any other virus. What if we weren't afraid of this virus? How would we react with people? How would we react with the media? How would we react with just living our everyday lives? So by embracing that, like in anything in life, right? You're embracing the love of someone. You're embracing the hurt of someone. You're embracing the fact that you may have lost a relationship. You may have lost your cell phone, but there's other things in life that are more important.
I think there's a great word, embrace the vulnerability.
Yeah.
Embrace the vulnerability that COVID brings to you. Let's be honest. If we embrace the fact that I can't walk properly, that's okay. If everyone accepts me, I'm good. Someone caught COVID. No. Obviously, that person's going to want to go into a room and shut the door. No, calm down. Give the person a hug. Give them a high five. Can we give a high five? Yeah, all right.
Sleeping there.
But think about it. These rules of social isolation, distance. How did it make you feel for that year? Think about it. You weren't able to hug your grandma. You weren't able to hug your mother or father. You weren't able to hold anyone. That sucked.
Yep.
But now if we embrace COVID as, oh, you have it. It's okay, I'm vaccinated. Can we hug? How great does that feel? I've been able to give people high fives now because we're double vaxxed. But even if my friend isn't, I'm still giving him a high five. Woo! Feels great. And being a laughter teacher, you learn that play is very important.
Very important. There's actually been studies where, and this is actually from the monk when I went to the monastery, when the monks were studying non-stop, and it's crazy what these guys study. If you watch them study, it's like, wow, it's impressive. Okay, they're literally studying from 6 a.m. in the morning to 10 o'clock at night, if not longer, back to back to back. But there was no play, there was no fun in there, right? So the minute they added just an hour of play a day, their memory and just learning capacity exponentially increased.
Oh.
So it was like from night and day, they were having fun, they were enjoying, they were absorbing the information more. So that brings us back to, what if we embraced COVID and just laughed about it? What if we embraced COVID, or any matter for anything for that matter, where like Chris said, if someone hurt his leg and he busted his leg, he has no more leg, and people are gonna judge him. There's no judging. There's embracing, because the minute you embrace, the faster your healing could be. For whatever the case is, negative, positive, negative thought, negative, just going from negative thought to a positive thought, to whatever it is, your healing process just gets better and faster. And that goes with love, that goes with joy, that goes with peace, that goes with laughter, that goes with everything.
And they've proven it in cancer research, that if you're more positive about it, you start changing your lifestyle a little bit, it increases your chance of healing from it. So let's embrace COVID. Let's embrace it.
Let's just touch on cancer again, because someone that I know just got cancer, and I saw the look on his face. It was this week, and I saw the look on his face, and it's like, and it's not to put doctors down, I'm not putting them down, but it sucks for the doctors to tell the client that you have cancer. Right away, what happens is it's a negative state, and you put the client in a negative state as well, and the environment as well. So what if the the person telling you that you have cancer would take it much lighter and be able to laugh about it, be able to change it. Because not, like it or not, most people that get cancer are either morbidly sick, morbidly obese, or they're just stressed out of their mind and miserable for the whole life, and they hold in so much emotion. And we live in a society where shut your emotion, keep it inside. We don't want to know anything about it, which is another thing that's horrible. You need to express yourself, and this is where laughter comes in as well. Laughter expresses who you really are. So what if we just change, and I'm not saying just COVID, what if we change COVID and all diseases together in a more embracing and positive aspect? How can we live life on another level, right? We're always talking about the fifth dimension, the love. But not only the love, because like we said, laughter could play into the love. Joy and peace play into the love. It's just raising our vibrations to another level where diseases don't ever exist. They shouldn't exist. Fear doesn't exist.
I'll even help you with the word love. Because as some may know me, I'm a guy of care. The word care is everything. We care, always. You'll hear me saying it 1,000 more times. But what is love? Well, you take care of yourself. Do you take care of your family? Do you take care of the people you love? That's the action of love. Caring. Not that people say, oh, but I love him. Oh, come back to me. Nah, calm down. That's not love. That's competition at some level.
It's just not saying that you love him, right?
At the end of the day, it's about caring. If you care about the fact that you have something and you're willing to get through it, that's caring. For example, like you just said, I get cancer, I'm going to take care of it.
Yep.
Right? It's in the words. Isn't it interesting how we don't really notice that we say care a lot more than we thought? So, I will take care of my car. If you take care of your car, will it last longer? Yeah, that's the point. So if you take care of your life, you take care of your body, you take care of your COVID condition, you'll get through it. But if you chronically get into the level of stress with it, see, there's a great word called perceived stress. Sorry, 2 words. Perceived stress is an enemy. Real stress, I'll tell you right now, is fantastic. Real stress is what causes you to have adrenaline go through you. And as a CPR instructor, I teach people to use that to help you. Because
that is our fight or flight motion, right? It's our cortisol hormone. So our cortisol, we always talk about this in naturopathy where cortisol is your negative hormone and it's actually your survival hormone. So when it's optimally balanced, in the morning your cortisol should actually be high. Your stress hormones should be high. The problem is when it's out of balance, when it's too high or too low. So when it's at the right balance, no matter what the stress is, your body should be able to come back to a natural state. The problem is that we have a freaking phone in our face and it stimulates our cortisol all day, every day. So that's another factor.
Because it's telling you, there's danger out there.
That too, right?
This many people have COVID today. This many people have died today. Before that, it was, Trump said this, oh my God, nuclear warfare. Whoa, he just said a joke. You know, like, think about it. Think about how much goes on today that forces you to have perceived chronic stress. Think about it. If you didn't have this, let's go back to the days of the 1970s. When you woke up, what was the most stressful thing? Do I have coffee?
Wait. You're talking about guys our age or the older?
The whole world, man. Like, think about it. You woke up, you're like, where's my coffee? That's it. That was the most stressful thing.
Or where's Power Rangers?
Yeah, where's the Power Rangers? Let's put some on. You know, oh, I missed my show. I didn't wake up early enough. You know, like, think about it. What was actually stressful? Nothing. If you really want to focus on how chronic stress began, it's this.
Actually, yeah. It's
You opened the Gazette. The first page was always something negative. It wasn't about how today.
And you notice that you look at the first page and you never go through the whole magazine?
Yeah, exactly. This is stressful. Let me focus on this only. Then 5 pages in, you're like, oh, the great things that have happened today. We've cured mono. We've cured this. We have a new medicine for this. Always at the bottom unless it makes a lot of people money, then it's at the top.
Yep.
Saying, hey, stocks for this are going up. That's about it.
Pretty much.
And think about it, stocks, that's stressful too, right? If you don't know how to handle stocks, it could be very stressful. Numbers have gone down, numbers have gone up, numbers have gone down. That's balance.
It's like
care.
our life. It's like our life, right?
Yeah.
We always have this shift of up and down. It's just how are we going to manage it and how are we going to embrace it to be the better person in the end. It's like we were talking about today when we bring in a lot of information when we're looking at chakras and nobody knows how to handle the amount of information. Again, with the phone, and you just keep getting bombarded with stuff from this person, from that person, from this person, from that. So you're always texting, this. There's too much information. You don't know how to handle it. Makes you go crazy.
Exactly.
So it's learning how to learning how to embrace what's coming in, learning how to filter through the information, learning how to say no,
care,
and take care. Exactly.
Care. Because at the end of the day, that's the reality, right? So let's embrace COVID. What is COVID? It's a virus. Viruses have been around for a very long time. There you go. Now, this virus is much more susceptible and it will travel faster. Yes. But in that same logic, doesn't that mean it spread over the whole world? And look, it did. To think that tomorrow you walk outside and you didn't catch it yet.
In 2 years.
Come on, you've obviously caught it. The thing is, your immune system was way stronger than you thought.
Yep.
And those people who did get it bad, well, that's a reality that maybe your immune system's not as strong. And I will encourage you to get the vaccine. But I'm not going to encourage people who are healthy to take a vaccine. It's like saying this, will you take antibiotics if you're not sick? Would you take antibiotics if you're not sick?
Never.
Would you take a Tylenol if you don't have a headache?
It's a drug. Let me take it.
So if we embrace and take care of this information the way we need to take care of it, not by scared, fear, but by being calm and realizing, let's think about this logically, not emotionally, logically. Because see, emotions have to do with your stress. Stress lets you know, hey, something's in danger.
And we've been doing a lot of decision making on emotions lately.
Oh yeah, like this passport.
I'm not gonna go too much in depth, but as we see the switch in, and I'm not saying it's a feminist world, but the characteristics are more feminist, where the intuition is more high, and we're now emotionally, like I just said, we're emotionally inclined to make decisions. That's a feminist characteristic, right? We're not looking at male and female.
How about we say it's a feminist element?
Yeah, we can say that as well.
Because we have these elements as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And I believe the word feminist has such negative connotations.
So we'll use elements.
It could really cause people to get upset, which TJ would love. But an element of emotion saying, you know...
Okay. Request to be live. Hold on, Luca.
Yeah?
No, go continue.
Let's go back into the day of before the... Let's go back to maybe the year of BCs. Number one, no electronics, so information was not traveled very well. It was by communication. Misunderstandings for sure occurred. Just look at the Genesis books, look at any Bible. One story says this, and it's similar here, but no, it's different. No, it's the same freaking thing.
Somewhere in the middle there.
Now, when they looked at energy levels, they realized there were two very different ones. They called one feminist, and they called one masculine. Because back then, look, there was a man, there was a woman. They said, two different things, let's call it that. But yes, get into what was considered a female energy thinking process.
So the way I'm looking at it is, if we look at a biochemical level, because of all the toxicity, because of all the estrogens that are elevating with plastics, this, that, whatever, all the chemicals going around, we are more inclined to emotionally make decisions because there's more estrogen and toxicity in our bodies as well. So, like it or not, we are more susceptible to emotions. Whether you understand emotions, so understanding emotions and making emotional decisions stressfully are two different things, right? So we understand what energies are, we understand chakras, we understand there's male and female characteristics, elements. We know how to make a decision based on seeing the different sides of of the coin. Now, what I'm just trying to say is, we just jump to conclusion right away, emotionally, because there's just so much more toxicity in the air, and there's so much changes happening because of everything of our environment has given to us. So, being able to make a decision logically, like we're saying, because of this vaccine passport, we need to literally take a step back and see, whoa, what's actually happening to the world? It's not just night and day, okay, we need a vaccine passport and that's it, right? It goes deeper into that. It goes deeper into what's the next step of these vaccine passports. We went from 2 weeks to flatten the curve, we went to 6-7 months of wearing a mask, being in lockdown. Now let's do a vaccine passport for what, right?
Why?
Because we're always going on a decision making. Again, we're talking on energies and emotional level. There's a whole bunch of other sides to the story, but why is this coming about? Why can't we just embrace that we're never going to get rid of a freaking virus because it's been with us for millions of years? Why can't we just embrace that we're all one unity, we're all the same blood, like it or not, we're from the same person, and just build and grow and continue living our lives like we should? Why can't we just do that, right? Why can't we just embrace that this is, like it or not, at the moment, is a new reality? So let's just live and open up and love each other like we should. Just embrace the freaking environment. That's it.
And if you're really scared of it, go take a booster shot for the vaccine. But don't think that doing it to everybody and forcing it is going to do any better. Now, that was on a level of energy. If I were to tell you on a social emotional level, as a specialist in that as well, I'm going to tell you this. If you're angry, you're allowed to be angry. It's what you do when you're angry. That's the problem. Let's be fully honest. I'm angry about bullies. Does that mean I'm going to become a vigilante and go beat the crap out of them? No. As much as we would like to.
Can I be Batman? I'll be Batman.
But the reality is, real justice comes from knowledge. It comes from the fact that, okay, you're angry, what should you do about it? And working out is a great thing to do with anger. I was very angry with bullying. What did I do about it? I made a whole career out of it as a behavior specialist. Now I go into schools and I teach people who are angry, so angry about what's going on at home, to differentiate and say, hey, that's at home. Here's how to handle your anger. And hey, why don't you become a leader with me and we'll make sure that no one else gets hurt. And there you go. You use that anger in a positive way. Just like how we've been talking about this whole podcast. Bring COVID into a positive light. It's a virus. It's a virus we're going to live with. Now the reality is, it's going to go after the most vulnerable. So we should care for the vulnerable. But that does not mean make everyone have a passport. That's ridiculous. What it really means is all that money that would go into passport making, give it to the hospitals. No? Give it to the hospitals. Let's be fully honest here. There are 12 major hospitals in Montreal. There's a population and there's a hospital. If you were to fund the hospital the way it needs to be, we wouldn't even be talking about this as a problem. Because the reality is, the intake of people who are sick would be handled the same way it was always supposed to be handled. But if you keep cutting and cutting and cutting and cutting, does it make sense that nurses are doing 12-hour shifts? Does it make sense? Think about it. 12-hour shifts. Do you work 12 hours straight?
14.
Maybe the wrong person to ask. But do you take a break?
Yeah.
Okay. Nurses don't take a break. They do what's called a graveyard shift. You get to sleep.
I get to sleep.
Some of them don't get to sleep. They have to work about 2 days straight, then go to sleep, then go back to work. Does that make sense? That your break is to sleep?
Forcing federal employees to take the vaccine, is that even legal in terms of labor law?
It's not legal, and
it's not legal in general.
And I'm going to help him post something from the Canadian website where you have the right to advocate. I have a friend of mine who works for FedEx. He spoke to the lawyers of FedEx. He showed these documents, and even the lawyer said, Yes, but the business is gonna get a penalty. So you get a fucking penalty. That's the first time I swore, sorry. But why should employees lose their jobs because a company doesn't want to take a shot? How about you pay those lawyers to go against the real people and go higher up? Because let's be honest, there's got to be some rules out there that make sure that businesses are protected. Because
100%.
that's the real enemy here, okay? This is how it works. And this is how I teach it to people. There are rules. So, the biggest rules is the country rules, period. The UN has rules that you can follow by, right? And so those rules are hopefully where everybody will sign off and say, yeah, human rights matter. But in Canada, they actually matter. See, China signed it too, but there's a genocide going on there. So you tell me, what's going on? Here in Canada, we're educated. And we're very well educated to the point that I can go and research anything I want. In China, you can't. You are restricted to what you get to watch. And there's this thing called social credit. Crazy stuff, but we'll talk about it on another podcast. The point is this. In Canada, you have rights. You need to know your rights, which education doesn't want you to know.
No.
But we will change that. Where our online course, that's for sure going to be one of them that I'm spearheading with Anthony, for sure. Because you deserve to know what your rights are.
We're going to bring that into the...
Oh, well, it's holistic at some level, right? Well, we'll talk about it. The point is, we'll help post it as many places as we can. There are documents there that state your right as a Canadian citizen, and so we really hope it helps you. And I'll send it to you.
Sounds good.
But thank you for your question. It's not legal, and it'll never be legal.
It's unconstitutionally illegal against all constitutional rights. It's just, it doesn't make any sense.
See, how it works in the law is that when we vote, there are a group of people who will get there. Now, if there's a majority, that's where Legault, for example, is the majority of CAC. That's it. But there are other people around needing to say yes or no on the decisions. If it's a majority vote, that's horrible because then they get the power to do what they want. But then when the next majority gets in, they get to vote it out. Did you know Bill 101 could have been voted out a long time ago? Yeah, I found that out too. But we'll get to that another day.
101 again, that's the...
Bill 101 is making everyone in French.
That's it, okay.
And that could have been voted out a while back. But we'll talk about it another time. The point is this. We, the 100,000 people who marched yesterday, don't want a passport. And when it comes to voting next time...
And that's both vaccinated and unvaccinated that I know for a fact that don't want the passport. Anyways.
Yeah, vaccinated and vaccinated.
Vaccinated, unvaccinated.
I'm vaccinated. And we don't like it. So, next time it's time to vote, and we will be encouraging it closer to that date.
Apparently it's September.
Vote. Vote against whoever decides to say passport is bad. Let's vote for that person. And if that person does something wrong, well, believe me, they're going to hear a lot of us complain about it. But again, embrace COVID. Embrace the virus as what it is. Some of us took the vaccine, some of us don't want to. That's okay. Put the money where it deserves to go, in the medical field.
Yep.
Look how many people had jobs out of nowhere at the Olympic Stadium to give vaccines. Think about how much money went there. Can they give that to the hospitals? Let's be fully honest.
Yep.
Why not? Where is the money going?
At the end of the day, sometimes you gotta just look at the money.
Yeah, and the money will bring you to the rabbit hole. And that's a good
Liberals
20.
want a majority. Yep, the Liberals do want the majority. That's the problem. Even over here, the go is what? CAC?
Yep.
They want the majority too over here, I'm guessing. In Canada and Quebec. But anyway, I'm not big on politics, but looking at all this stuff, it's you understand a little more.
Democracy is simple.
We have no
Majority wins.
We have no
And,
democracy.
well, listen to this. If Trump won, that means democracy is possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's be honest. Everyone hated him, but he became president.
Side note for this, but Fox News yesterday, from what I got, actually said something about Trump coming back into power.
Interesting. I wonder what
this
that's
is
going to be about.
This is Fox News, right?
Fox News.
Like I got something of that. I don't know if it's true or not, but this is Fox News that said it, so I don't know. Did Trump actually win? Boo. So I guess the future holds a lot of unanswered questions.
A lot of them. And you know what? We'll see. But again, embrace it positively. You know, if something happens in the next few minutes, say, okay, where's the negative? Where's the positive of this? And I dare you, do some research. Go look at the big picture. And the big picture means 8 billion human beings on Earth, so that's a lot of research to look into. And that's a lot of information to have to handle and take care of.
And filter through.
That's why we're doing podcasts, because I got info, you got info, we want to give it to you. Because you know what, let's be honest, sometimes it's a lot of work. And it can drive people crazy. My wife thinks I'm crazy sometimes, but the reality is I'm meditating and then I'm able to solve a problem like that. Crisis comes like that, I deal with it. So let's be fully honest here. If you can't handle it, it's okay. Embrace it. Be grateful that there's other people who can.
Yeah. Embrace it and learn with it and grow with it. That's the only way you'll be able to overcome anything, really.
Yeah.
And that being said, with the meditation and stuff, if you guys can change your negative state to positive state, regardless of someone even attacking you negatively, just answer them positively. That's what I've been doing on social media lately. And you've seen that a couple of posts.
Yeah,
just keep sending the love. It doesn't matter. Just keep sending the love. And you know what? That's gonna just change how they're gonna react after, because they're gonna be like, oh, okay, well maybe I should look at it a different way. But just to say that, if we get over 104, I think the number is about 140, 150,000 people that are elevated, and we lift our vibrations high enough, this is all going to shit. Literally. We can literally vibrate at a different frequency. My hand's vibrating. We can literally vibrate at a different frequency and elevate all of our conscious positivity.
How we see things.
My hand is literally on fire right now.
Good. Very good. And you know, on a bigger level, to not only take what he said and make it powerful, judo, verbal judo is exactly that. It's teaching people how to verbalize to others, hey, yeah, someone tells you, for example, oh, you're looking at my girlfriend. Well, I'm just saying, you're a really lucky guy. You got a great girl. Oh, thanks. Right there, right done, changed. It's the same thing here. Embrace it, send it out. And there's that great photo that he's been posting. I'm posting it every day till this is over. And I encourage everyone to. Vaccinated, non-vaccinated, LGBT, non-LGBT, black, white, Chinese, doesn't matter. We're all human and we're all in this together. So can we all agree that anything that involves segregation is wrong? Even when it comes to to a COVID, even when it comes to a virus, we're all in this together. Just think of this. Pre-COVID, someone right next to you literally had influenza, didn't know, and then tomorrow you got it. That's it. Right? You didn't even know who had it.
Or didn't get it.
Or didn't get it. Maybe it was dormant. Maybe it was dormant to the point that he was able to just carry it, and I had a weak system. I caught it. But you know what? That's how life works.
Yep.
You want to change nature? Good luck. Nature, great way to end.
Nature's changing over us, let me tell you. So on that note, have a great Sunday. Well, hopefully we did this earlier so you guys could enjoy. We care. Embrace the positivity, embrace COVID, embrace everything, love one another, be one. Keep lifting your vibrations, keep raising your love for yourselves and for others. Again, it's not just saying that you love them, it's actually caring for them and just caring for everything around. I love this freaking microphone in front of me. It's the same thing, right? You just love and embrace and care for everything.
And you take care of it.
You take care of it.
You put it nicely back in its box so it doesn't screw up.
Yeah.
That's how we're supposed to take
longer,
care of it.
right?
Lasts longer.
Same thing when you take care of your body. It lasts longer. So,
which I will be doing soon.
So enjoy Sunday. We'll see you guys next week, and we'll have TJ back on next week. And I think Andrew wanted to come on as well. So
yeah, come on.
See. We'll keep you guys posted. Enjoy the week.
We care.
I'm TJ.